So let's carry on with the things that I love about the new Toyota Tacoma Interior Edition. I did a video, I think maybe yesterday, day before, about exterior features, but we have to step inside, right? First of all, number one, oh, and there's those chunky door handles. That made the list from the exterior. The seats, number one. I love the new seats for a couple reasons. One, I like the design of them. I think they look pretty darn good in the truck. But more importantly is the comfort of them. These are manual seats, and I highly suggest the manual seats because I finally have been able to find positions that I'm comfortable without having to do anything extra, like add seat jackers or anything like that down below. My biggest problem in the seats that I had in the third gen was the thigh support area right across the front. I could not bring that up far enough so that it actually supported the bottom of my legs. I don't have that issue with these, and they are manual. The only thing power in these seats is the lumbar button right here. Love these. I think it's a definite improvement over what we had before. Next up is this center console area, number two. Now I know it's been a bit of a polarizing area versus the two. Now I know it's been somewhat of a polarizing area as compared to the third gen, but I have to say I like the way the cup holder setup is now. We've got two big cup holders without that square what do you do with it area that the other trucks have had. Plus we've just got more real estate up here, it feels like. More surfaces, more bulk, more aggressive look. I like the way that they did the phone area. If you're going to use the charging feature, I suppose that's a good area to put it as opposed to what we had before. I like that we have additional storage down here for maybe longer things or even your phone if you want. We've got some jacks over here to plug into where the controls and things are, and a smaller kind of piano plastic area that always scratched up in the previous truck. I love that they shrunk this area down. Number three, while we're in the center console area, is the bigger, chunkier, square or rectangular shifter. This thing is just more ergonomically correct, I think. You've got the little button on the side here to push to move it back and forth, and it fits the hand really well. Not to mention, it's kind of angled a little bit, so that when you're driving, at least for me anyway, I can kind of rest my elbow back here on the center armrest and then put my hand right across this area. I know it's a minor picky little thing, but nonetheless, it's just more ergonomically correct, I think. More comfortable when you're driving around in the truck. Next up, number four, still in the center console area, are the bigger, chunkier knobs and controls. These, of course, are more Tundra-esque, I guess, but I like that they're bigger, they stand out more. I like the design of them, kind of faux screws in here. And then the color is not chrome, it's the pewter color. If you have to have anything that's, I guess, lighter inside the truck, I prefer it be pewter, and that's what Toyota did. We've got pewter here. The little switches or buttons or knobs, whatever you want to call these things, little push switches. I like that they're big, they're not tiny. I don't have to kind of position my finger on some little nub down here to activate what I want to activate. Plus where they're located, right up here where you can see them. I love that feature. Down here, in addition to the functionality of the tow haul and drive mode button, it's right where it should be. Right next to the shifter, because it is kind of a power kind of thing, right? Push the button, turn it however you want it to go. It's in a great position, and it looks and matches the other areas that we have, including the chunkier knobs. Number five, we're going to close the door for this one because it's kind of hot out there. Let's start the truck, and you can probably guess already, I'm talking about the new digital gauge cluster area. This is a huge step forward in my opinion, for the Toyota Tacoma. I love that it's customizable. I love that you can kind of get it the way that you want it to be. I think it just looks awesome in the truck and more functional because you can default to things that you want to be on that screen. Although, a little caveat to that, I will mention that for some reason I can't get the tire pressure readout to stay on the screen. It always wants to default back to compass. I need to look into that a little bit more, but there are several different settings, several different looks that you can have to kind of customize it to get it the way that you want it. I think it's a definite improvement when it comes to the 4th gen Tacoma. Real quick, let's take a look at the radio screen because that has been a point of contention as well. It is that more floating style kind of screen, more iPad-ish. And I say that lightly because it is thicker. It's not really an iPad look, but that's the closest thing I can liken it to, I guess. The screen kind of integrates in around the bezel area. It looks great to me. I like the color that's in this particular truck. I believe some of the versions have this color or the pewter kind of color around here. Honestly, I don't think that looks as good. I think having this finished in black or gray, whatever you want to call this, is a better look for the area. It kind of makes it blend in to everything else. I think they did a fantastic job with it. The bigger screen, the 14-inch job, that might be nice too, but hey, I don't have that one. Lastly, something that I've actually had to get used to a little bit, and honestly, I didn't like it until I got used to it. And what I'm talking about is the new push button start location up here, as opposed to being down here beside the wheel. When I first got the truck, I was always pushing through this void of nothingness, right? And of course, nothing happened. I had to remember that the push button start is up there. Now, after being used to it, it really is right in your line of sight when you look forward when you're in the truck, right? I mean, it's right there. And they even did it in TRD red to make it pop, to stand out a little bit. So I think it is a good location for it. I like now that it's right up here where I can see it. I didn't have to look around, or don't have to look around the steering wheel anymore to hit it down here. And I like that they finished it with a black kind of bezel area as opposed to chrome. And again, that it's red and says TRD on it. Much like the shifter here, I don't know if I showed you guys that, it says TRD on here as well. Anyway, those are just 6 things that I really do love about the new Toyota Tacoma. I think they are improvements on the 3rd gen, and I really like the way Toyota set the interior up. Leave a comment, let me know, particularly if you've gone and actually looked or sat in the new Tacoma. What do you think of these features? I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.